Saran. This is the Varnashram dharma, that is material. Varnashram is planned for material life in a systematic way, so that in due course of time one may give up the family relationship and take sannyas and completely devote for Krishna's service. This is the plan of Varnashram. Varnashram dharma is not meant for planning something and you remain in the family. No. The Varnashram, Varna means Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, Shudra. Chaturvarnang maya system guna karma vibhagas. Guna, not everyone is qualified in the same way. Therefore, you, the Acharya, will pick up that they are meant for becoming Brahmins. They are meant for Kshatriyas, or for coming from Kshatriya family or the Brahmin family. So first of all, these Varnas. Then ask the Brahmana, one who is qualified as a Brahmana, he has to observe the 4 ashramas. A Brahmana. The Brahmachari ashram, the Girhastha ashram, the Vanaprastha ashram, and Sannyasa ashram. The Kshatriya, they will have to observe 3 ashramas. Brahmachari, Grihastha, and Vanaprastha. And the Vaishyas, 2 ashramas. Brahmachari and Grihastha. And Shudra, only 1 ashrama, only Grihastha. A Shudra is never offered a sannyas. Only the Brahmin is offered. So, in Shankara Sampradaya, strictly, unless one is born in Brahmin family, he is not offered sannyas. He is not given sannyas. So far we are concerned, we also offer sannyas to the Brahmin, not to the Shudras, but according to quality, we create Brahmin. Not that we are offering sannyas to the Shudras, no. The principle is sannyas can be offered only to the Brahmins. So, one may not mistake that we are offering sannyas to the mlechas, javans, as they complain. Some of my god brothers, they criticize like that I am offering sannyas to the mlechas, javans. This is wrong idea. This is Naraki Buddhi. Actually, a Vaishnava is above this Varnashram dharma. But we don't claim that we have become perfect Vaishnava. We are not so impudent. We want to remain under the Vaishnava. Under the Vaishnava. Otherwise, Vaishnava means, in Chaitanya Chaitamrita you will find, the Vaishnava is Paramahansa. Vaishnava has no saffron cloth. Vaishnava is white cloth. Because Vaishnava is Paramahansa, above. But we don't claim the position of Vaishnava. We want to remain servant of Vaishnava. Therefore, sannyas order is below the position of Vaishnava. Sannyas order means still in the material classification. But this Vaishnava is Paramanirmasaranang Satang. Dharma Prujita Koitavatra Paramanirma. This Vaishnavism is meant for Paramanirmasarana, Paramahansa. Sagunan Samitita Etan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. The Vaishnava position is not very easy thing, above all qualities. Therefore, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur introduced not to become an imitation of Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami, the Sanatana Goswamis of Vrindavan, they are Paramahansas. And in Vrindavan you'll find so-called Babajis, they have imitated the dress of Rupa Goswami, half-line cloth, wearing a bidi in the mouth. What is this nonsense? Rupa Goswami used to smoke bidi. Not only that, you'll find in Vrindavan so many Rupa Goswamis are making bidi. Have you seen in the Gopinath Bazaar? They are making trade, bidis, and shameless. Therefore, my Guru Maharaj introduced this. Of course, sannyas is there in the Vaishnava, all the acharyas they are sannyas. But later on, it's so degraded that this bidi smoker, ganja smoker, they imitated Rupa Goswami. Therefore, to purify, and Guru Maharaj introduced this sannyas system below the Paramahansas. Not that artificial means I become a Paramahansa. No. When one is, the sannyas stage has got 4 stages. Kutichak, Bahudak, Paribrajagacharya and Paramahansa. Kutichak, when one takes sannyas, these are the processes. He is not practiced to beg from door to door. Therefore, in the beginning, he makes a cottage outside the village, and the foodstuff comes from his home. But he has no connection, because by Vanaprastha he has already left home, and by sannyas completely. But takes prasadam from home. That is called kuticha. Then when he is practiced, he goes from door to door, and that is called bahudak. And then, when he is still more practiced, he becomes a preacher, paribrajagacharya, goes from country to country, state to state for preaching. And after preaching, when the preaching is advanced to some extent, then he sits down in a place as Paramahansa. That is called Paramahansa. Different stages, not that all of a sudden one becomes Paramahansa and bidi also. Not like that. Paramahansa stage is not to be imitation. So to stop this imitation, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur introduced this system, sannyas. He personally became sannyas, and to many of his disciples he gave sannyas. So the whole process is how to get out of the affection of this family, community, nationality. This is the process. This is illusion. But at the present moment, this illusion is being increased. They criticize what is this nonsense? So many people, they have been entrapped by this Krishna consciousness movement, and they are doing nothing for the society, nothing for the nation, nothing for the family. So they are useless, parasite. They are thinking like that. Even Subhash Chandra Bose, he was a politician. He came to my Guru Maharaj that so many people, you have captured them, they are doing nothing for nationalism. So Guru Maharaj said, well, for your national propaganda, you require very strong men, but these people are very weak, you can see, they are very skinny. So don't put your glance upon them, let them eat something and chant Hare Krishna. He avoided like that. And then there are many others. Then there is a philanthropy to give food to the Daridra Narayan. These things are going on. Nobody is interested that, or they know it, that human life is only meant for God realization. There is no other business. Otherwise, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not so fool that at the age of 24 years, he took sannyas and preached this cult. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nastiva, Nastiva, Nastiva. He was not such a fool, because that is the only business. That is the only business. How one should develop Krishna consciousness. That is the verdict of all Vedic Shastra. What is the meaning of Vedic? Studying Vedas. Vedashta sarvai ahamiva vedam. That is the only necessity. To become educated, learned scholar, learned in Vedas, Chaturvedi, Trivedi, Dvivedi, or Vedi, the Brahmanas were divided according to education. Ordinarily, they must study Vedas. Vedopathat bhavid vipra. Without Vedic knowledge, nobody can become a Brahmin. Vedopathat bhavid vipra. Brahma janati iti brahmana. And by Vedic knowledge, when one understands Brahma, the absolute truth, he becomes Brahman. So there are 4 Vedas, Sam, Yajur, Kathan. Generally, they read one Veda, Sam Vedi, Rig Vedi, Yajur Vedi, Vedi. But one who studies 2 Vedas, he is called Dvivedi. The Apabhramsa is Duve. And one who studies 3 Vedas, he is called Trivedi. And up country, these titles are still there. Vedis, Dvivedis, Trivedis, and Chaturvedis or Chobe. In Mathura, you will find the Chobes. But they have no connection with Vedas now, simply with the name and begging in the name of Dvivedi, Trivedi, Chaturvedi. That the purpose is how to become disentangled with this family relationship. Family or society, that is the increase or expansion of the same affection. So the so-called nationalism is also materialism. there is it is simply expansion. Just like you have got a party of rogues and a big party or small party, the business is plundering, that's all. Because you have got a very big party of thieves, it does not mean that you are immune from criminal activities. Therefore, these things are not required. People have become accustomed, but we discourage them. We do not approve this so-called nationalism. Therefore we have named internationalism. International. No distinction between this nation or that nation, this religion or that religion. Religion is one. There cannot be two religions. If God is one, and what is religion? Religion means the law given by God. That is religion. This is a simple definition. What is religion? If somebody says, they will say religion means this, religion that. No. The simple definition of religion is the law of God. Dharmanta sakshat Bhagavat pranita. Just like law. Law means the order given by the state. That is law. Your order is not law, or my order is not law. But when the state orders keep to the right, you must keep your car to the right side, or the state orders that keep your car to the left side. In Europe, somewhere it is right side coming left side. So, according to the state, you cannot say why sometimes it is left side, sometimes right side. No, it may be whatever it is, but because it is the state order, you have to abide by. You cannot say that I was driving my car in India to the left side, why shall I drive on the right side? And sometimes they feel inconvenience. But no, you have to, because that is the state order. So similarly, as the law means state order, similarly religion means God's order, that's all. Simple definition. Dharmanta, it is not that we have manufactured. It is stated, Dharmanta sakshat Bhagavat pranitam. Nobody knows what is dharma. Neither the human being, nor the demigods, nor big sages, saintly personal, whatever you say, philosopher. No, nobody knows what is religion. Dharmasya tattva nihitang guhaya mahajana jena gadasya pantha. Mahajana means those who are authorized person by God, one who knows what is the law of God. He is Mahajan. He Mahajan. So, Guru is Mahajan because he knows what is religion and what is law given by God. Therefore he is Mahajan. How he has become Mahajan? Because he is following the previous Mahajan, that's all. It is not difficult. Evang parampara praptam evang rajatsayo vidu. So Mahajana, are therefore Sampradaya. Just like we are Madhya Gauriya Sampradaya, Madhyacharya, or Brahma Sampradaya. We are following Brahma is Mahajan. There are 12 Mahajans stated in the Shastras, and Brahma is one of them. Swayambhu, Brahma's name is Swayambhu. The other day we were discussing Swayambhu, or Atmabhu. Atmabhu, because he is born out of the abdomen of the father, not of the mother. Not the other. Father is the seed-giving, life-giving agent. So this life was not transferred to anyone else to take the body. The life-giver Father gave him the body. Therefore, Brahma is called Swayambhu. Swayambhu, Narada, Sambhu, Kapila, Manu, Kumara, they are all Mahajans. So, dharma means the codes or the law given by God. That is dharma. And our life is meant for dharma. Dharma. But unfortunately we have created so many dharmas. But there cannot be so many dharmas. There cannot. Suppose the gold is gold, pure gold. There cannot be, just like they have made 20 karat gold, 14 karat gold, 16 karat gold. That is mixture. That is not pure gold. We are preaching, if you say it is religion, it is pure religion, not correct. 14 karat religions or 20 karat religions, no. Real, pure religion. What is that pure religion? Sarvadharman parittajya mamekam. We are teaching just surrender to Krishna. Krishna consciousness. That is pure religion. Original gold, no karat gold. Therefore, our Vrindavan Das Thakur has said very clearly, Prithivite jaha kichu dharma name chole. Whatever is going on all over the world in the name of dharma, Bhagavat kahe taha paripurna chole. According to the opinion of Srimad Bhagavatam, all this rascaldom is simply cheating. Now if you say that, everyone will be rebellious. But that is the fact. Because if dharma means the order of God, then what is God's order? That you become my devotee. Manvana bhava mad bhakta madhyaji magnam. 4 things. You always think of me and you become my devotee. You offer your obeisances, manmana bhava mad bhakta, and worship me. So we are teaching this real religion. Here is deity, Krishna. So we are thinking of Krishna, Hare Krishna. We are worshipping deity, Krishna. There is no difference between Lord Krishna and deity. It's Krishna. And we are offering obeisances. So therefore it is real religion. Because we are strictly following the laws of God. Annavilasita, we have no other business. So therefore, this is real religion. If you take or real culture, real society, everything real. Because God is real. Anything in connection with God, according to His instruction, that is real. All other things are imitation. So always remember that if somebody takes us as religionists, yes, we are religionists, but pure religionists. If somebody says socialist, we are pure socialists. If somebody says we are diplomats, yes, we are pure politicians. What is pure politician? Politics requires violence. So, annihilate the demands and give protection. The politics mean 2 things. The state, government, what is that? Government gives protection to the good citizen And those are rogues, punish them. Law and order. Two things are there. Maintenance and law and order. So similarly, our Krishna consciousness is also the same thing. But so far we are concerned because we are not in political power. Otherwise we would have followed the principles of Krishna. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has shown us the way that we kill the demons in a different way. We kill the demons in this way by chanting Hare Krishna mantra. We purify him so that his demonic activities are stopped. That is also another way of killing. He stops his demonic activities. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, that he did not kill Jagai Madhai, although he wanted to kill them, because they insulted Vaishnava. But still, Nityananda Prabhu reminded him that in this incarnation you promised that you will not kill, so have merciful upon them. So their demonic activities were killed. That is also killed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted Jagai Madhai on this condition that you have to stop your sinful activities. Whatever you have done, that is done. So we make this condition. The demonic activities, we say you have to stop. Whatever is done is done. Strictly following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There is no consideration. Because you are previously a demon, therefore you cannot become a Vaishnava. No. Anyone can become Vaishnava, provided he stops his demonic activities. Anyone. Anyone is welcome. Provided he accepts this philosophy, sarvadharman parityajya mamekang saranam bhaja. So this is the way. That Kunti is praying that snehopasam imam dirham chindi. So in this way we can get rid of the so-called affection for society, friendship, love, country, nationalism. No. Our sneha, affection, is completely transferred to Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much.
Krishna. Am I audible? Hare Krishna. Can anyone confirm if I'm audible? All right. Can you all turn around? That side is done now. A very, very beautiful lecture. Actually, the verse is so nice. Atha Vishvesha Vishvatman Vishvamurti Swakeshu Me Snehapasham Imam Chandi Dhram Pandu Shurishnshu. Very famous shlok from Mother Kunti's prayers. Mother Kunti is praying to the Lord, please cut the ties of affection so that, and after that she says, as the Ganges flows to the Ganges, let my consciousness flow incessantly towards you. So Prabhupada begins with saying that she talks about two family lineage. One is Pandushu, second is Vrishnishu. Why is Mother Kunti talking about two family lineages, Pandushu and Vrishnishu? Yes?
Because women have affection for two families.
Women have affection for two families. Which two families women have affection for?
Father's family and husband's family.
Yeah, so a woman has two families as such because she comes to another house, so the husband's family and her family. So Pandushu refers to her husband's family, and Vrishnishu refers to Yaduvamsha, her lineage, her family. But Kunti was wife of Pandu, but Pandu doesn't refer to lineage. The lineage is Kaurava, so it should be Dradam Kurushu, Vrishnishu. Why Pandushu? Why not Kuru?
Yudhishthir separated or some means.
Not either separated. Okay, good try, good try. Who else? Who else? Pajani Prabhu, yes.
Because the thrash was bent that
Yeah. So
Kuru.
Dhritarashtra separated. He wanted to throw Pandavas and his family members out of the Kuru Vamsha. So therefore she said, Dhram Pandushu Vrishnishu. So this was the introduction to this topic, and then Prabhupada begins. I love this, you know. So Prabhupada says, Mother Kunti is saying, so how many of you agree with Mother Kunti's prayer first of all, before anything else? Is Sanatan others? उधर कर क्या रहे हो? और क्लास सुनने लायक भी हेल्प नहीं है? क्या कर रहा तुम? इसको बाद में करना, बैठो अभी आके. तुमने क्लास भी नहीं करी. Sit down here. ये करके. What was I saying? So first of all, how many of you agree with the Mother Kunti's prayer first of all? When Mother Kunti is praying, my dear Lord, please cut off my ties of affection to my family members. How many first of all agree? You agree? So you're saying you will also like to pray like this? So please explain your agreement. So for Mother Kunti, yeah, it's good for her. For us, let us continue with our affection. What is your verdict? How it is, why it is correct? Mother Kunti praying.
Because Prabhupada is saying this is entanglement because human society.
Okay. So now, would you also like to pray like this?
No.
I know, no.
We are trying.
No, you are trying is okay. Praying is trying only, na?
Yes.
So first of all, to pray means when you're saying this is true, and Prabhupada is saying we are Prabhupada Anugas, we do what Prabhupada says like that. You know, if you're having that mood, so do you agree what Prabhupada is saying? Like, you know, in the river, the straw comes together with the flow of the river, the straw goes away. Our relationship in this life is like this: we come along and we go away. Yes. Even now, you're not with your family member.
Yes.
You're away.
Yes.
You know, so Prabhupada is saying that even in this lifetime, we are not together. And given the current situation, and the way the society is designed, after education, literally after 12th standard, only you're not there. How many of you left your home after 12th standard? Raise your hands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 versus 5. So, you know, almost 60% right now, 60 to 70. I don't know about online. Ashul Gupta is raising hand. Okay, so like that. And what to speak about after life? Nobody remembers. So nobody remembers, we don't have. So again, is Mother Kunti's prayer correct? Should devotee pray like this? Is my question. Don't say yes, correct, but not for me. Is Mother Kunti's prayer correct? Is the question. Okay, please explain.
Because Prabhuji, as you said, that we are not with all the family members for all the lifetime. Our first 25 years are spent with our mother and father. Then we are married, then wife, children's, and then mother, father is about to left.
So after wife comes, parents leave.
No, leave नहीं करते, लेकिन उसकी duties, responsibilities
But in
बढ़ जाती
Kali
हैं.
and current age, parents and family staying together is almost close to impossible. On the practical, yes or no? I mean, this congregation, I don't know if it turns out to be brahmachari class, but let's be factual about it. But generally, it doesn't happen when the family can stay together. But more or less, okay, fine. Close the door properly. Okay?
पेरेंट्स के साथ तो प्रभु जी एक बार को रह सकते हैं, लेकिन जैसे ब्रदर्स होते हैं, ब्रदर्स भी आपस में रह सकते हैं, लेकिन जब वो मैरिड हो जाते हैं तो फिर
Matter of fact is, with time, everyone goes. आप उसको कैसे भी justify कर लो. You may say last year, this week, what not. Eventually, you're coming to that conclusion only. तो जी हाँ, जब तो शादी नहीं थी तब साथ थे, पर शादी होने का तो चले जाते हैं. So it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time people leave. So that's what Prabhupada is making a point. And when I was listening to what Prabhupada was saying, I was reminded of, Prabhupada, when he's making a point, is very emphatic about it. I'll just read out. So just like the waves of the river carry so many straws scattered here and there, sometimes by a whirlwind all the straws meet together in the water. So a meeting, I am the father, you are the son, she is the wife, he is the grandson, or he is the father, or she is. In this way, our mixing up in a group of families exactly like the assembly of some straws in the waves of the river. It has no meaning, just like the straws. It has no meaning. And what Prabhupada is saying has a lot of meaning because Prabhupada had experienced it.
Yes.
Prabhupada had experienced it. And to understand his experience, you have to read the bhajan that he wrote in Vrindavan in 1959. A huge bhajan talking about how I had given my whole life to my family. Where is my family? Nobody is left. Everyone is living, but nobody is asked. And Bhagavatam says, you're only worthy as long as you're productive to them. If you're not productive to them, there is no worth of yours. It is the harsh truth, although painful truth. It is the harsh truth, but a painful truth. Just think about how much our parents may love. I'm talking the material love, so don't get affected by it. How much our parent may love, but if the child becomes invalid after a certain age, for how long they can continue to serve? For how long they can continue to serve? Every relationship in this world is with expectation. Expectation is we raised you, we spent money on you, we grew you up with an idea that you will serve us. कितनी फूटी किस्मत निकली हमारी 30 साल की सेवा के बाद भी जब इसका समय आया सेवा करने के लिए has become a burden on my head. Would be a natural progression, yes or no? I'm not saying anyone's parents' love is shallow or something, but this is what is material life. And that is what I was saying. It has no meaning. Any material relationship has no meaning. And then what Prabhupada says further? Moha. Prabhupada says, okay, Americans scatter here and there. What was the point Prabhupada was saying? Moha. So this is Maya. Janasya moho ayam aham mameti. See, we gather exactly like the straws on account of Maya's influence. We become very much attached. Oh, here's my son, here's my wife, here's my family, here's my this. This is all called entanglement. They do not know they only create family, but also society, community, nation. This way we are embarrassed. The so-called nationalism, socialism, communism. Simply moha, exactly the same way as a small that insects under some illusion, moha. They come to the light and sacrifice their life. And then Prabhupada quotes example of 1947 partition. People fought on the name of some ism. I am Hindu, I am Muslim. And they killed each other. When they were dead, the municipality people came, they lifted the dead bodies and threw them away. They were not making differentiation, this is Hindu and Muslim. They just threw them away. And this is how the Kala acts with us. So when Prabhupada is saying this has no meaning, has a lot of meaning and depth. But because of our attachment, it becomes painful. The greater the attachment, the more painful the truth would be. It will pinch. Oh, because all my life was centered around this. I remember hearing this thing in the beginning years. It used to be painful. You can imagine we have grown up with a certain idea. This is my family. This is my friend circle. This is my society. This is my community. Depending on how much you identify with people, like that. And suddenly then you read, this is all illusion. It has no meaning. It is a very shattering experience. You feel like if it has no meaning, then where am I? And then Prabhupada had something very interesting. Prabhupada says, another thing Prabhupada says, now somebody is stealing for the sake of family maintenance, doing so many sinful activities. But when they are scattered again by the laws of nature, nobody will be sympathetic to me. If I suffer from my own sinful activities, but they do so for the so-called family. They got money, then due to affection. First of all, whatever he earns by hook or by crook, first of all, he wants to see that his wife, children are fed up very nicely. And at last, if there is some remnants, he can eat. You see? And then Prabhupada goes on. I believe there was one more thing. Prabhupada goes to the sannyas thing. What is the point Prabhupada was mentioning? So Prabhupada was saying about the sinful life, sinful life means that you work hard and everything, but by the laws of nature you'll be separated and you have to suffer. And the basic fact of the life is when your life is in danger, the by default response is first protect yourself. Like Prabhupada gives an example in the lecture. If the house is on fire, the first reaction is to save oneself. When we are safe, then we are reminded of our immediate relationship. So it's all about in that way I. In other words, when you say it's all about I, as long as I have a loving relationship, we stay together. Like brothers, same brothers who had stayed together, eaten together, slept together, lived together. Sometimes some situation happens, now they don't want to see each other's face, yes or no? Despite having that loving relationship for years together, decades together, because of some financial transaction, some hiccup happened in relationship, they don't want to see each other. At sometimes they fight, they file complaints and cases against each other. At sometimes they kill each other. That is what Mahabharata is about. That is what Dhritarashtra did. Dhritarashtra and Pandu were brother, na? Forget about Pandu's son and Dhritarashtra's sons. They were cousins. But Dhritarashtra and Pandu were brother, na? And he didn't want Pandu's family to be recognized as Kuru Vamsha. That is what Prabhupada said, right? Therefore, Mother Kunti is saying Pandu Shu Vrishnishu. It's just a reality of life like this. So anyways, it takes time, but I kind of wanted to highlight this point for those who are in renounced order, or those who have taken to the renounced order, how we should see this, So Prabhupada says, I believe it was here only, Prabhupada said, so now we don't have a family life, but we have got Vaishnava family. Was spoken in this lecture only, na? Yeah, so now I may be out, but I have another family. I have a Vaishnava family, and this is the real family. And then Prabhupada makes a point. So now we have got this affection. How to deal with this affection? What is the Vedic way of dealing with this affection? It's very deep-rooted. Particularly husband-wife relationship, very deep-rooted. Rishabh speaks in the 5th canto. I don't want to speak all those things right now. I will turn Brahmachari class otherwise. How to deal with this affection? What did Prabhupada said? Yes, Vishwam.
So Prabhupada said about the Vanaprastha life. So once that husband and wife should take to Vanaprastha.
So Prabhupada said in Vedic culture, see how the Vedic culture is designed is very practical, is realistic. No cheating here. Point is, you're an individual soul, part and parcel of the Lord. With the time and as a result of your karma, you got this body, and because of this body, you got certain relationship. You're going to get married to somebody, then you're going to get some kids, but this is not the reality of life. This is just to carry out your bodily needs and your requirements and fulfill your desire. But eventually the purpose of human form of life is to go back home, back to God. If not, at least moksha, to begin with that. To fulfill that purpose, you have to give up your attachment. You have to give up your affection. If you don't give it voluntarily, you'll be forced to give it up. Yes or no? At the time of death, you'll cry. But none of your cry could change the reality. How much ever you yell, don't take me away from my family members, nothing gonna change. That's the reality of life. So therefore the system has been designed in such a way, after doing your household duties, dharma, artha, kama, after fulfilling your desires. You want to have a wife? Alright. You want to have kids? Okay. You want to get them married? Okay. Done. What else? You've grown old. You can't see properly. You can't speak properly. You can't eat enough. Your limbs are shaking. Then what? Now at least give up this bodily affection. Now go to the next stage called as Vanaprastha. So take to Vanaprastha. So how could in ISKCON we can practice Vanaprastha? The idea of Vanaprastha is to prasthan, to travel. Travel to where? One. So how in ISKCON prasthan to one can happen? And the idea of Vanaprastha in ISKCON is, once your kids are settled, or let's say in today's time, one advantage is you don't really have to worry about getting kids married. Often that business is taken care by the kids only now. Correct? I guess today's parents will not be so much worried about it because parents know anyway हमारी सुनने वाला नहीं है. कहीं ना कहीं से कोई ना कोई पकड़ के लेके आएगा बोले हमें शादी करनी है. So at least that is a good point. So Vanaprastha could happen early. Vanaprastha could happen the moment the son or daughter goes to the college. Is that understanding, Varun? I'm not saying the context of Vanaprastha. I mean, from the point of parents, isn't that the mindset? बस बच्चे को जैसे जैसे कॉलेज में एडमिशन करा दो, हम ये कहते हैं, भाई अब तू अपना देख ले, तुझे कॉलेज में एडमिशन करा दी है, we have paid for your fees, we'll pay for your fees. आप उम्मीद करते हैं, now you'll stand on your feet, you'll start earning और जैसे आज सोसाइटी है, how many of you agree? I don't know, young people still. How many of you agree? Once उसकी शादी तो हो ही जाएगी, कहने का हो ही जाएगा करके. We don't have really so much struggle. That anxiety that our generation, previous generation, our parents and the grandparents had is very less now. You know, it was their dharma to find a spouse. The parents' dharma is to just get him admission to college.
Your parents are not even
Huh?
married, doesn't get married. ठीक है, चलता है.
But generation gap was there, right? Correct?
Not
Is it
seeing.
right?
That's why I left. नहीं तो भी जगह नहीं है उधर अभी भी.
Okay. So Vanaprastha. So how to practice Vanaprastha? What is one? One is Prabhupada said ISKCON temples. So Vanaprastha concept is now you take to full time to service. The idea of Vanaprastha is, what is the idea of Vanaprastha? What is the principle of Vanaprastha?
Attachment,
Yes, detachment. Detachment from whom?
worldly life, material.
Material life. How do you cultivate detachment?
Attachment to Krishna.
That's it. So which means to practice Vanaprastha, you have to increase your service. Full-time service. As much as you can do. When you engage in service, particularly Vanaprastha, primarily they should engage in devotion. You know, at least 5-6 hours of service. So, you know, once you become attached to deities now, all that affection goes away. All that affection goes away. I'm not saying becoming hard-hearted or something. You know, we have to perform our duty. That's the idea of Vedic culture. But that kind of affection goes away. So that's the point. Now, then Prabhupada says there is one suicide for which you will not become bhoot. Which suicide which is permitted and for which you will not become ghost? Huh? Civil suicide. Who commits civil suicide? Those who commit civil suicide, what they are known as? Brahmacharis and sannyasis. Well, but not brahmachari technically, sannyasis. We hope brahmachari will become sannyasi tomorrow. So we'll put that into category of that. But traditionally it was not considered. Why? Because brahmachari jivan was a student life. Our life starts, you know, traditionally when people will take sannyas is where we are starting our brahmachari life. After 25, either sannyas or grahastha ashram. So that's the difference here. So civil society like that. So 4 varnas, that's all is done. Naraki buddhi, that's okay. So Vaishnava never wore saffron cloth. So right now there's only one guy wearing saffron cloth here. So and many ISKCON brahmacharis wear saffron cloth. So how come we are having saffron cloth? Prabhupada was sharing some nice history. It was a beautiful lecture. Vaishnavas do not wear saffron cloth. या तो मैं मायावादी हुआ फिर, पर मैं मायावादी कैसे हो सकता हूँ? मैं तो ISKCON में यार एक गुरु से मिला है. बताइए कार्तिक प्रभु.
Hare Krishna. Vaishnavas used to wear only loin clothes, the Paramhamsa stage. But
Yeah, loin cloth everyone wears. White cloth.
white cloth,
Loin cloth is there. White cloth they will wear. Their dress is white.
white. But people started imitating that very high stage. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada kept, okay, sannyas initiation is also there in the middle. So you
So
go
that
through the
white
stage.
cloth was for Paramhamsas. Paramhamsas. He became worried. He was literally shocked. So white cloth was meant for Paramhamsas, okay? So like that, but because those Paramhamsas started smoking bidi, preparing bidi, Bhaktisiddhanta said, what rascaldom is this? What Paramahamsa is he? Then he said, okay, let us follow Varnashram Dharma. Then Varnashram Dharma, there is Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasi. That is Ashrama. There is 4 Varna. 4 Varna is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So what could Shudra do? What ashram Shudra can follow? Shudra can follow what ashram? Grahastha. What ashram Vaishya can follow? Brahmachari and Grahastha. What ashram Kshatriya can follow? Brahmachari, Grahastha and Vanaprastha. What ashram Brahmana can follow? All the 4 ashram can be followed. This is how. So Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur therefore started. So he had the saffron dress introduced in our parampara. Do you see any Goswamis wearing saffron dress? They always wear white dress. So even if you see picture, there is only Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur wearing saffron dress. Neither Bhaktivinoda Thakur, nor Gaur Kishodas Babaji, nor Jagannath Babaji. Not even Goswamis. And then you see Prabhupada. Prabhupada dress may not look saffron from a distance just because he's having a shawl in that photo. But so Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur introduced the culture of Varnashrama, sannyas. And Prabhupada said, Then Prabhupada was speaking about, my God, but this is commenting me that case. So Prabhupada said, we want to be a servant of a Vaishnava. So therefore we are doing like this. Bidi mouth. Okay, so there are 4 stages of sannyas ashram. That's a difficult one. You may not remember the name, but what are the stages of what happens in each stage of sannyas ashram? Yes.
So 4 stages were like Kuticha, Bauddha, Parivajakacharya, Paramahansa. In Kuticha stage, they remain outside the village. In one kuti, they create kuti and they remain outside. And
The gradual, see how beautiful it is. There's a gradual progression even in sannyas ashram. So how does Vanaprastha okay, let's go one step before. How does Vanaprastha become sannyasi?
He used to visit holy places
Holy place he visited with his family, wife is there, no intimate connection, that is done. So how is Vanaprastha becomes a sannyasi? Yes, Pajani Prabhu?
When wife become totally attached to the husband. Then
Totally?
detached to the husband. Wife become detached, so she can be taken care by the kids.
Okay, either way, I'll see what Prabhupada said.
I
The
guess
idea
Prabhupada
is
said-
the wife is sent back to the kids, so now elderly grown-up kids can take care. Wife becomes detached, means wife becomes, okay, I'll check
Here
it.
Prabhupada says like they stay together and she becomes an assistant, and then after the period of time, when man becomes he doesn't need no more support of wife.
Correct.
She's sent back to the.
She's sent back, yeah, this wife becomes detached, I'll have to check. Yeah, so idea is man doesn't need, gradual progression, na? So wife is not taken care by the elderly kids, like that. So this is what happened, and then comes sannyas ashram. So Vanaprastha enters sannyasi now, which means he can be by himself. Because sannyas is not easy to be by oneself, no dependency on anyone, and to function, because basic needs, human needs, food, kahan se aayega? So idea is now he knows I don't need to depend on my wife. She doesn't need to cook, provide basic needs. Okay, so wife goes back, lives with the kids. Kids take care. Now he goes to the next stage. What is the next stage? Is Kutichaka. What happens in that stage?
he live outside the village, he create a kutia and like their family member give prasadam to him.
So he's still not that advanced that he can function by himself. So what he does, now he moves out of the village, he lives in the forest, but he's still not that advanced, detached, I would say, in that way, or dependent on the Lord. So therefore he still depends. So he lives in a cottage or kutir, and people give him food. So that is first stage. Can you see how beautifully progression? Next stage, what happens then?
Bauddha like goes door to door for person.
So because Kutichaka, he is not yet detached, advanced to do Madhukari, beg, because that requires a lot of humility. Then the next stage, Bahudaka, which means now he has become more detached and depend on the Lord. So now he does not depend on any food from anyone. Rather, he goes and beg alms. He asks for alms. Very nice. Then what happens?
Parivajakacharya do preaching state to state or country to country.
And then Parivajakacharya, now he travels all over and he preaches. Somebody has to give anything, okay, but now he has become compassionate, where now he doesn't want to care for himself, now he wants to share with others. So he travels around and share, and this is what Vidurji says when he met Uddhava, Janasya moho, vimukha, that particular so he says, you travel all over the place to give kindness. That is Parivakacharya. Further advanced stage of consciousness. Then
Paramahansa, like when preaching is on advanced stage, then he sit on one place, remains there.
And then he sits on one place as Paramahansa. So then he is Paramahansa, so at the later stages. So these are the gradual advancement of consciousness. So I really like this one. I wanted to highlight this for all of you. So that's the thing. So it's not something happens suddenly. So it's not that overnight our consciousness will change. And there are stages, even in Sannyas Ashram, how one goes from one stage to another stage. A very beautiful lecture. If in case anyone have missed, please do hear it, or at least go through the, transcript. Beautiful lecture, particularly on the concept of how the system was designed to set oneself free from the affection to family members. One last quick thing, because the lecture was very important. Yeah, ठीक है, that's all right. Okay, so we'll pause here for today. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Ki Jai. Thank you all for joining.